Uganda was a country of Ebola, shortages, magendo, smuggling, chibanda, foreign currency black market, and kusamula, speculation. Those were the 4 words that were dominant in Uganda. Ebola, magendo, chibanda, kusamula. There were shortages of all, in quotes, essential commodities as they came to be known. These were sugar, soap, salt, paraffin, textiles, etc., not to mention producer goods, inputs into other sectors such as cement, mitaimbwa, steel bars, etc. We therefore designed a strategy of both minimum recovery and also growth and transformation. Those words, minimum recovery, but also growth and transformation. Minimum recovery. That is why the NRM growth program had and transformation. Minimum recovery. That is why the NRM is independent and transformation and self-sustaining. That shows you that we were very clear from the beginning that recovery was not the main goal. Recovery was simply a stage to the real journey. That meant exactly what it said: integration of the economy and transformation. This is the trajectory that has guided us. We have now gone through or entered into 5 stages, 5 phases. Phase 1 was to restore part of the small island of the 3 Cs and 3 Ts. Hence, cotton has been restored, and so have tea and tourism. Therefore, out of the 3 Cs and 3 Ts, some have been brought back. That is cotton, tea, and tourism. Copper has not yet been brought back. Because coffee had survived, it did not completely collapse. And so had tobacco. So therefore, we are talking of the 4 to be brought back. The 4: copper, cotton, tea, and tourism. And of those, it's only copper that has not been brought back.
When you come.
Phase 2, expand the small island of the 3 Cs and 3 Ts by growing more coffee, more tea, and attracting more tourists. And this is exactly what has happened. If you look at coffee, we used to get 2 million bags. We are now at 9 million bags. If we have not yet hit 12 already, and we are targeting 20 million bags. Tea, by the time Amin came in, we were exporting 23 million kilograms. By the time NRM came in, only 3 million kilograms. 3 million kilograms. We are now at 60 million kilograms. Although the price has gone down, but that's another matter. Phase 3, we have diversified the money economy by commercializing products that the colonialists had neglected, as not being cash products or cash crops. They would, for instance, take maize as a mere non-money food crop for subsistence consumption by Ugandans. In the meantime, Uganda would import packed maize flour, kawunga, from Kenya of the maize meal brand. I remember even the brand, the maize meal. This was the same story with processed milk. Well, the ancient cattle keepers of Uganda would be wallowing in poverty caused by moneylessness. Uganda would be importing processed milk from Kenya of the KCC brand, powdered milk from Denmark, and condensed tinned milk from New Zealand, Australia, Switzerland, and so on. I remember seeing those imported dairy products in the distant Indian shops at Ntungamo.
You guard.
I don't know whether you can find Ntungamo on the map, but there were condensed milk tins in Ntungamo, small tins. From you read on the cover, New Zealand. Imagine. And yet I was just keeping cows 2 miles from the shops, but my milk could not go in the shops. The Banyankore, as usual, gave a non-complimentary name to the condensed milk that I would not like to repeat here. Because you know the Banyankore somehow, they don't like these foreign products. So this condensed milk was given a certain name which I cannot repeat here. Like the Banyankore also gave a name to rice. They also gave it a certain name. But I don't want to go to jail for promoting slander against the rice and against the condensed milk. Phase 4 saw us beginning to implement number 5 of our 10 points program. Remember number 5, build an economy which is integrated, independent, and self-sustaining. So therefore, here the phase 4 saw us beginning to implement point number 5 of our 10 points program. This is building an integrated, independent national economy through vertical and horizontal integration, vertical and horizontal linkages. This involved adding value to our raw materials and horizontally linking the different sectors, agriculture with manufacturing by agro-processing. When you process an agricultural product, oba okwataganya obulimi n'obulunzi n'amakolero. When you process an agricultural product, you are linking agriculture with manufacturing. Services with manufacturing, such as using our electric vehicles and pikipikis to supply our transport sector. Now, when you use the Kayora, the electric bus, manufactured, it is now in the transport service. So you are linking the manufacturing with our sector of services. Remember, the sector of services has been linked with Japan all this time. Tubadde okukwatagana kati yentambula yaffe n'amakolero gaffe. They were not connected. who were locomoting around using Japanese vehicles. In other words, our services sector, our transport sector, was linked with Japan, not with Uganda. That's what NRM was telling you. So when you process the milk from Rwakitura until I can drink it here in the cup, as we say, from the garden to the cup. From the garden to the cup. That's vertical integration. That's vertical. Naekati, when the milk now goes into Uganda hotels, instead of, what was the milk they were getting from Europe? Noodle, something, I don't remember. Nido, from Europe. That means your bulambuzi, your tourism, ekwatagana na industry za Bulaya na agriculture ya Bulaya. There is no connection between your industry with your agriculture and with your industry and with your tourism, your tourism sector. This involved adding value to our raw materials and horizontally linking different sectors, agriculture with manufacturing by agro-processing, services with manufacturing, such as using our electric vehicles and pikipikis to supply our transport sector, or using our agriculture to serve our hotels, the hospitality sector. Those are the linkages. Horizontal, from raw material to finished product, and horizontal, sector by sector. This adding value increases the value of products by transforming a kilogram of coffee from giving us US dollars 2.5 as a raw material to a kilogram of roasted, ground, and packed coffee, giving us US dollars 25 to 40. If you can show some of that coffee by Tugume, the other boy of Ntungamo, it would be good for the audience. That is the coffee now. Show us that coffee. Oh, that is already happening in Ntungamo. Ntungamo, pure box, private bag marra. Ntungamo had no post office box number. We would say Ntungamo, private bag marra. But now Ntungamo is getting on the map now. So it does not only give us more money, but it also creates jobs for us. In some of the activities, such as dairy, the vertical integration has gone far. In others, such as coffee, we are still struggling to begin. Phase 5 has been entering the knowledge economy by making automobiles, vaccines, etc. Now, this is a new economy, knowledge economy, which is what Europe and to some extent Asia has been monopolizing. producing machines, producing vaccines, producing medicine, computers. We are now going there. Show us those, the Kayoras, the vaccines, show us if you have them. What's that? Who are those? Oh, Biofarm. Magora. That is now a new economy. It is not just agriculture or processing milk or maize. It is now a product of the brain, of the intellect. The brain, because some of the countries like Japan don't have raw materials. They don't have land, they don't have agriculture, they don't have minerals. But they use their brains to use other people's raw materials and become very rich. Japan, I think, is the third richest country in the world now. Now, in our case, we are lucky. We have agriculture, based on our own crop, our own agriculture. We have manufacturing using our raw materials. We have our services. And we have our educated people who can do all these things, as you can see. So we've got everything. Nothing to compare with Japan or South Korea. Those ones only have now only the brains. You people, you have got the brains and plus. With these moves, our economy has moved from US dollars 4 billion in 1986 to now US dollars 55 billion by the exchange rate method, and US dollars 168 billion by the PPP method. PPP is the purchasing power parity method. By the end of this financial year, June 2025, our economy will be US dollars 59.3 billion by the exchange rate method, and US dollars 168.5 billion by the PPP method. When our oil will start flowing by July 2026 next year, the size of our economy will be US dollars 75.37 billion by the exchange rate method, and US dollars 214 billion by the PPP method. By adding value to most of our raw materials and deepening the services sector and agriculture, we intend to grow our economy to US dollars 500 billion in the next few years. I told our people, and we discussed, and I showed them that our economy could grow 10 times bigger than it is now, because we already have the raw materials. By simply adding value to the raw materials we have, the economy will jump 10 times. Like the coffee. Instead of getting $2.5 per kilo, if you get 25, even without talking about 40, that's how many times? 2.5 times, 25 is 10 times. If it is more, So that's why I don't want to hear to be in this. We have now come into the lower middle income status, but I am convincing our people to jump and go to the high middle income and also become first world in the next few years. In this way, we are addressing the two issues of wealth and jobs. Because people keep talking about this. Jobs, jobs. But where do jobs come from? The address of jobs is wealth creation. I own a farm like the ones I own with Mama and the children. They are ours. But we are creating jobs for Ugandans. There is a young minister, very active, called Byamukama. If they can show you the work he did after I talked to him. He was elected last time, 2021. His father brought him to me. Karol Kamanyire was one of our NRM people. Brought him to me and I advised him. And he went immediately and started working. Now, I don't know whether they have the video here. Show you what he's doing and how many jobs he has created. Do you have Byamukama? If you don't have, whom do you have? Mulambaire. You don't have?
My name is Fred Byamukama. I'm a member of Parliament of Buganga's West Constituency, Kakumiro District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple. We have cows for zero grazing. We have 12 of them for zero grazing, 2 which are giving us milk. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery. Those are very many.
Okay, show us the workers
mixed with banana, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned. $366 trays, but because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day, minimally. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets. But those I don't sell. The piggery, the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day, minimally. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get the eggs. I get.
That's all. There is where the Byamukama said he was employing 26 people now. 26 people. So you create wealth. The wealth produces jobs. If it is a farm,
I'm employing 26 people. Previously, I was employing 17, but I added in more things in the farm, and I'm employing 26 people. And the person who learns the least amount is 200. They are here. The girls, single mothers, the boys who have families, and we're enjoying. The driver who drives the katipa here.
So
yeah, there is good work. And I'm happy some of.
Now, this is what we keep telling you. By creating wealth privately as wealth creators, we also create jobs for our Ugandans. If it is a farm, if it is a factory, if it is a hotel, that's how jobs are created. Now, because of colonial distortion, people think of government jobs as the only jobs. With the government jobs, you can't solve the problem of jobs. Because how many jobs are there with the government? One Gombora chief, one Murka chief, one even in education. It's according to the numbers. We have what we call teacher people ratio, and the number is limited. That's why the whole public service is 480,000 in a population of 46 million. How can you think you will solve employment problem through government? You can't. This is just confusion. Part of the colonial thinking. The answer for job creation is wealth creation. You create wealth, in the process you create jobs. I have been repeatedly telling our people that when a Ugandan creates wealth in agriculture, manufacturing, artisanship, emyoga, services, or ICT, he also creates jobs for other Ugandans. I've told you of examples like those of Nyakana of Fort Portal, or Ijara of Serere. Let us look at Ijara. That Ijara is very interesting, if you have him.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I am the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kakusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm, where we produce yogurt and pack it, tin it for the market. This project started 11 years ago after an inspiration from His Excellency, the President of Uganda, when he had come here and he was teaching people about the 4-acre model. He was having a rally in Soroti, and that time I was working as a taxi driver. I was doing that Massa business in Soroti. So when I heard this, when I heard he was around, I crossed to go and listen to his story. And he was talking about a 4-acre model, how to improve household income. So when I came back, I was fired because I delayed there and the taxi came through. And the guy said, you go and eat those words that you had. But I had already this land, 2.5 acres, but I also had local chicken here. But after hearing that, I got inspired to put more effort on raising this chicken. So I raised the chicken to the tune of about 100 of them. Then I got a small incubator. That was about 4 eggs. So I used that incubator for multiplying my local chicken farm. Eventually I was having 1,500 local chicken around. And I was very famous for local chicken. So but then local chicken were not answering my day-to-day needs. So I decided to translate it to layers. In Taifa Farm we have 10,000 layers, which give me about 310 trays per day, and each tray goes at
Ijara is he had my speech in Soroti in 2011 or something, and he had never had me speaking. And when he had over the 4 acres, he had 2.5. And he came and started keeping local chicken. Then he has changed them to improved chicken, and now he has cows. He sells 310 trays of eggs per day. And he earned 3 million shillings per day. In Serere, he has got those cows. He's selling 320 liters per day. And he's earning more than 1 billion. If you listen to the story, he will tell you how he is now a billionaire. He's earning more than 1 billion. And when he deducts costs, he remains with 650 million shillings net profit in a year. But he's employing many people. Now Nyakana, who is like, for him he's using, let's just take the example of Nyakana. In 1.2 acres, with 0 grazing cattle and poultry for eggs, Nyakana is earning shillings 537 million gross per annum and employing 50 people now. So Nyakana now is earning 537 million gross per annum from 1.2 acres, from dairy cows and from poultry, from eggs. And is employing 15 people. Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. If only 7 million acres of that were used in the Nyakana way, each one employing 15 people, would create 105 million jobs, more than the population of Uganda. So, people who talk about jobs, you now know the address of jobs. If you didn't know, I'm again telling you. Yes, these particular jobs are low-skilled jobs. However, that broad involvement in the money economy will first of all increase the purchasing power of the society, because by earning, they will be able to buy more goods and services. They will consume more meat, more legumes, more milk, buy more textiles, build with more steel, etc. We are producing 5.3 billion liters of milk today, and we are saying that the internal market can only take 800 million liters, leaving a surplus of 4.5 billion liters. Why is this? It is because the Ugandans are still drinking 60 liters of milk per person per annum, instead of the WHO recommended level of 210 liters per person per annum. If the 46 million people of Uganda were drinking the required 210 liters of milk per person per year, the 5.3 billion liters we are talking about would not even be enough for the internal market, let alone the exports. So when we say, oh, there's a lot of milk, it is because people are under-consuming, even internally. And they are under-consuming because they don't have money. Sometimes they have money they may not know, but most of them don't have money. And they don't have money because they don't have jobs. So by creating jobs, you are increasing the purchasing power